And he said, I am Karl Franz, and I was born in this world, just like you. A world of unceasing war and endless terror. But with a nation of men at its heart. A bastion of hope and courage. The Empire. Led by the craven. Torn apart by the greedy. Weakened and exposed. Forever on the defense. But no longer. Now, we unite to purge the evil that dare confront us. Follow me, and we will banish this darkness. I swear this, as your Emperor.
The newly crowned emperor returned from a tour of Reichland to find his capital, Altdorf, besieged by spider-riding greenskins. Having seen off the goblin threat, Franz arrives in his court to find the politicking of the empire already at its height. Middenheim grumbles, and to the south, a secessionist rebellion is in full flow. Franz must tread carefully. A wrong move now could split the empire asunder before his rule has truly begun.
The greenskin threat is extinguished, sire. Yet the fight to secure your rule has only just begun. The empire is beset by civil war once more. Secessionists hostile to your election as emperor are trying to form a breakaway province to the south. Advance, crush them, and bring the lands back to your sovereign rule. To the north, Boris Todbringer of Middenheim, a bitter rival in the recent election, is openly hostile. A clash with Todbringer and the wolves of Middenland may well be unavoidable if you wish to unify the empire. Plan for this eventuality. The empire has ever been besieged by foes, but you are a prince of Altdorf. Greatness runs in your very blood. Make the Heldenhammer proud.
Reichland, formerly known as the Grand Principality of Reichland, is one of the founding electoral provinces of the empire. It consists of 4 districts: Altdorf, Grunberg, Oberreich, and Eilhart. Reichland was one of the provinces created at the founding of the empire during the reign of its first emperor, Sigmar Heldenhammer. Indeed, in the eyes of the imperial citizenry, the territories of the Reichland are considered the heartland of the empire culturally, politically, economically, religiously, and in every other way that matters. The emperor is able to provide the finest equipment and training available for his own state army. As a result, the armies of Reichsguard are said to be the most disciplined troops in the empire. They are famous for their precise coordination and their steady resolve. Few foes can perturb the valiant men of Reichland. After Emperor Karl Franz had finished his internal affairs in the city of Waldorf, he decided to start his campaign and destroy the rebellious secessionists and bring them back united under the Empire's rule. His first step was to march on Grumberg, but on his way, a small cracked army of rebels were waiting for him.
Ulrich's will!
Karl Franz's army consists of combined power of the crossbow and riflemen in front to cripple the enemy front lines marching towards them. At the second line are the melee troops that will hold the enemy while the skirmishers retreat at their back. The cavalry was set to engage enemy missile troops where they are vulnerable. Helmut Ludenhoff, the self-esteemed arrogant leader of the Grunberg rebels, was hastily marching towards Emperor Karl Franz to show that he is never to bow down to an emperor again. The rebel army confidently marched straight toward the visible missile and rifleman troops with unceasing effort. And their crossbowmen returned fire to support their troops' charge.
Charge with us!
Karl Franz, knowing it's the right time, ordered his cavalry to outmaneuver the charging forces and head towards the missile troops to destroy them. Like in the archery open field drill, death struck those who were unlucky enough who cannot dodge the incoming missiles and projectiles. When the enemy was near enough, the skirmishers retreated to the back of the eager melee troops waiting for their turn for the kill. Seeing his troops being shot like it was in the practice range, Helmut Ludenhoff angrily charged alone, not realizing that he was already far away and alone from his army. Then the Emperor came behind him, bringing his wrath, and attacked Helmut and surrounded him. Melee troops from both sides engaged in their fiercest combat and trying to take down as much enemy from each side. Far from the battle, the Emperor's horsemen started charging on the crossbowmen. One by one, these brave and eager rebels were struck down without a fight. Helmut Ludenhoff, realizing that he was alone, overpowered, and surrounded, ran away in panic, leaving his men alone. Karl Franz made chase and later slaughtered him. The Empire crossbowmen positioned themselves behind enemy troops to start the kill in their flank. And so the Empire riflemen to start picking their kills upon the rebels. The rebels begin to waver since they are surrounded and being battered like a dough prepared to be baked in the oven. Finally, the rebel army routs. Like sheep that is guided by a sheepdog and surrounded, the men were slaughtered while they ran for their lives. It was a massacre.
Ulrich's take! Retreat! Flee! Run! Ulrich's chief! Retreat!
When the cavalry has finished their cleaning, they then proceeded to their next herd to slaughter.
Flee! The gods will not
This is the first victory of the Emperor in the retake of his land from the rebels, shouting with his victorious wrath.
Sigmar compels us onward.
It is important to act quickly if you have any intention of securing lasting authority over the Empire. The people must learn that open dissent cannot be tolerated. Capture Grunberg and snuff out the resistance there.
Emperor Karl Franz did not intend to rest, and after defeating the rebel army that was blocking his way, he marched straight to Gunberg to claim his prize.
Men, I will fight with you.
The remaining rebel army in that settlement didn't let the Emperor take it easy, and they fought ferociously in defense. Hidden in the forest, the rebels marched towards the incoming army of the Emperor. Not knowing where the rebels are, Karl Franz has ordered his men to march forward. Upon reaching the forest, the rebels started to appear and gave no time for the Emperor skirmishers to do their job. Without a leader, the remaining rebels, eager to deter the Emperor's conquest, charged with all their might to make their last hope.
A united empire is all that matters! Destroy it!
The battle was fiercely fought by both sides. And Karl Franz made all of them known, Empire troops and rebels alike, that he is the great warrior Emperor, and those who have wronged him will pay dearly. The crossbow and riflemen positioned themselves on the left and right flanks to inflict maximum damage on the rebels.
The gods will guide us!
The rebels seemed to start to waver and started their retreat into the forest.
The gods of America!
While the Empire troops chased the rebels inside the forest, the retreat was just a fake, and the rebels turned back and started their charge again for their last stand. As hardy and brave as the rebels are, they fought as much and as hard as they can to avert the situation.
Retreat!
And to no avail, the rebels routed in the end. Grunberg has been taken. Emperor Karl Franz now has set his eyes on Oberreich. But bad news has arrived.
Sources report that Middenheim is sending help to the secessionists in an effort to destabilize the Empire, intercept their reinforcements, and demonstrate to Todbringer that there is but one master of Reichland.
Settlement occupied. Karl Franz will be preparing his troop for his next invasion of Oberreich. But bad news came that Middenheim Kingdom will send reinforcements to help the secessionists in their fight. So what will be the Emperor's next move to unite his empire? Mankind's future is at stake with their internal squabbling, while other darker and more powerful sinister forces linger around them.